1986, a new kind of drag racing cathedral rose from the Texas dirt. The first all-concrete super track, the Texas Motorplex. A place built for speed, built for spectacle, and built by a man who refused to lose.
It's really a fantastic racetrack.
From the very beginning, the Motorplex wasn't just another racetrack. It was a statement. Bigger, faster, louder. Billy Meyer wasn't interested in fitting in. He was a cowboy with concrete and cash, determined to change the game.
Yeah, there's one common word, it's winning. So it really doesn't matter what you're doing. I don't know a lot of successful people that like to lose. I like to win.
They're staged. And Darrell Quinn wins it and sets a new national.
The drivers from their comments have responded just tremendously.
Billy's all about relationships. That's how he's built the Motorplex. He's made it so great, and he's talked about, his relationships with Hal Needham and Burt Reynolds and ultimately creating the Motorplex. But the Motorplex started as an NHRA track, and then Billy got disillusioned with NHRA and actually bought the IHRA. Worst season ever, every event rained out, lost his ass, had to kind of go back to the NHRA and say, hey, I want my sanctioning back. And the NHRA was not having it.
Yeah, there was always breaking glass with NHRA. It's the easiest way to answer your question.
They were pissed.
Reached out to T. Wayne Roberts, who was that time the president of RJR Reynolds, and was like, hey, I want to get back to the NHRA. And Billy had known T. Wayne his whole career, and now he's the top guy, he's the money. And Billy's like, hey, I really need to get back to the NHRA. They're saying, go jump on a lake. T. Wayne faxed a letter to the NHRA.
And that's another long story we'll get into later.
And Billy, basically, they got us in NHRA sponsorship back.
I mean, it's just a roadblock. Every good thing has a roadblock in front of it. But my dad taught me don't ever give mental recognition the possibility of defeat, so there you go.
I've flown out to Glendora with him. Walking into the headquarters, like, man, he goes, I've walked into this building with my head held high, and I've walked in with my tail between my legs. And he looks at you and goes, let's see what happens today.
As the Motorplex grew, so did the chaos. The late 80s and early 90s were wild years, when funny cars looked like weapons and the men driving them lived on the edge.
There was nothing better than a funny car. My friends all wanted to be an astronaut and a fireman and all that. I wanted to be a funny car driver. We would go to the track and you'd see Jim Dunn and the Snake and the Mongoose and Raymond Beadle and Billy Meyer, and these guys would be upside down on fire and get out, and it was like the coolest thing ever. So I'm like, I want to drive one of those.
Like, you got to steer one of these things a lot more than a dragster, and they're so unpredictable, where a dragster 9 times out of 10 will do the same thing, where these keep you guessing every run down the track.
I crashed there going for a title. In fact, everybody thought, that I'd crossed the center line or I'd hit the wall, but I never hit the wall.
Tell them they want me out of the race. You show me a mark on my car. You tell them that right now. I ain't getting...
And I ran back up the racetrack and said, McCullough's the one that crashed. It wasn't me. And anyway, they finally looked at it and I got put back in the race.
Years ago, losing meant death. I still feel that way. I would rather die than lose. And when you go up there and you step on the gas and you drive that car down through there with that mindset, it causes you to be a fierce competitor.
It's like watching Clint Eastwood. 2 people face off, there's only one that can walk away.
In the single most violent engine explosion I have ever
witnessed.
By
the mid-90s, the Motorplex wasn't just a racetrack. It was drag racing's proving ground. The fastest cars, the biggest crowds, the most dangerous moments. Every year brought another record, another crash, another glimpse at the price of chasing speed.
Well, that's the price you pay when you try to blaze new trails.
What a day it's been for that man, Don the Snake Prudhomme, winning his 3rd of the season for Steve.
National event schedule next season. Some of those rumors focus here in Texas. According to Senior Vice President of
To me, this was like working at the Super Bowl every day. Even though it only happened 1 weekend a year, everything was predicated on the Fall Nationals.
I mean, 1996 was a sold-out crowd here, no standing room. I mean, the pictures are wild.
For every sold-out crowd, every standing ovation, the risk only grew. The Motorplex gave the sport its peak, but also pushed it to the breaking point.
People always want to see speed and performance. Drag racing's the ultimate. How much horsepower can you make that can actually stick to the track? I can't imagine there ever being a world where there's not professional drag racing. I think it will always be around, and thankfully to venues like this.
I've likened what we do to gladiators, but the consequences are different.
You could ask Billy Meyer, you can ask anybody that's ever gotten in a top fuel car, funny car the first time. I got in, they started it, and for the next 2 minutes while it was running, I was thinking, how do I get out of it? Because it's all such a great pipe dream until you're sitting in there, and the little pedal on the right will kill you.
Johnson first out of the gate, but by a car length. Hey, Ford fans. Race going, but
I don't think I have a death wish. I mean, I don't want to die. I'm not afraid of it, yeah.
Well, John was a little late, and John, big crash. John has a problem with his car. He comes across, he hits Bernstein. Both cars continue on. John's car is torn well up.
Wow, that was just a big crash.
That's frightening. You saw John Force's car comes down here with just the motor, and there is where the seat is, back in behind the wheels. Safety crew is there. They're trying to get that car around to where they can get to John and hopefully get him out of that car.
Those cars are made to break apart at a hard impact right at the motor plate where it did, but still, that's a hard impact.
Back end of John's car just disintegrating, and then the car breaking in half. Kenny Bernstein in that car right there, as you see, ricocheting off the wall. And right now, Kenny is with Gary Gerald. And there you see, as they have him loaded foot forward in the helicopter, and just kind of pushed his foot over against the colling. But the good news is he's moving both of his feet. He is conscious. You saw him. He's given instructions to everybody, including Robert Height, as they loaded him in. Conscious. He's talking with people. He has injuries to his lower extremity, and it's something that truly shocked this crowd here. It shocked everybody. You see something like that, it makes you stop and think of the human frailty and how man can master these 8,000 horsepower machines and beat them time and time again.
The Texas Motorplex broke the mold. It built a new standard. It delivered the biggest crowds, the fastest runs, the greatest show drag racing had ever seen. But it came with a cost. By the end of 2007, the question was clear. Could the Motorplex and the sport it redefined survive the weight of its own ambition?